Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stratosphere Lounge. I'm your host, Bill Whittle, and I pay a large amount of money weekly to the people that run this building for pest control, and generally try to keep, all kinds of pests out of the place. But something broke through the barrier. Lounge. I'm your host, Bill Whittle, and I pay. I never have a perfect launch, otherwise things go badly. So yes, this is my nephew Ashton.
Hello.
This is my brother Steve's boy, I guess you'd say. So he's here to answer your questions about America's Yoot. You're the Yoot of America.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in deep trouble. I think one good look at the two of us sitting here side by side can tell you, that cosmic rays do eventually degrade the genetic pool. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, he's actually a pretty good kid, all things considered. He just got in last night. Said audio's a little low. No, never fear. We can take care of that. By gosh, we have buttons for everything. Let's crank this up just a little bit. All right. So he got in last night, and I didn't know how much care and feeding it would require. So I thought I'd have to get up this morning and make him breakfast, but turns out I forgot that his dad, my brother, is a top chef and has been his whole life. So I wake up and Ashton's like, "Can I make breakfast?" Yeah. Next thing you know, cracking eggs, and he's got the bacon going, the toast and everything. It's pretty impressive. You have to look into the machine.
I'm reading the chat. Everyone keeps calling me Mini Jake Paul.
Mini Jake. Oh,
I get where you're coming from, but still.
Oh, that's a cruel and cold thing to say to somebody. Cruel and cold. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well and having yourself a fine old time. This is our pre-Christmas Christmas show, and we don't do anything special for that because I wasn't really prepared. I did, however, just finish, and I mean just finish about 15 minutes ago, this Moving Back to America segment called A Message from the Moon. It's a half-hour Christmas special, mostly about Apollo 8. However, it's for those of you that missed the Apollo 11 What We Saw series being taken down and put behind the paywall. It's a kind of a brief rundown on the Apollo mission. So in any event, I hope you like that. I finished it just a little short time ago. I'll post it to YouTube after this, and I'm sure it'll be available tomorrow and all the rest of that stuff. So yes. So anyway, Dave Big Booty, I know you're watching because I saw you do your countdown. I just wanted to thank you personally because we have a small subset of the Stratosphere Lounge crowd that is here in the morning on Tuesday mornings when I record the show live, and Dave Big Booty is one of them, and he actually corrected me on something that was always kind of confusing me in the back of my head, and that is the difference between Rusty Schweikert and Jack Swigert. Rusty Schweikert and Jack Swigert. Those are two different Apollo astronauts, and I didn't know that. I knew they were both on missions, but I didn't realize they were on the same mission. So anyway, thanks, Dave, for for helping to create me a little space where I don't look like such an idiot. Re-recorded it, and now it's Jack Swigert, not Rusty Schweikert. So there you go. All right, so you can almost feel the crackling excitement in the room already. It's really just going to be kind of amazing. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a relatively short show tonight, though, I think, because we've been working here all day, and growing boys hungry. Yeah. All right. So why don't we just do this? We're just going to jump right into the Facebook page, Ashton, where we ask our questions of our guests.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about the microphone bang there. And then we'll see if we can maintain this electric pace of excitement that we've already generated here. Let me get this. It's not it. That's it. Here we go. I got to refresh the bloody page, I think. So anyway, these are the good folks that pay the bills and keep everything running and rolling here, and for that we're very grateful. 8 more comments. All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
You ready, Freddie? All right. Let's begin with an easy one. I haven't read these. I haven't got the faintest idea. Okay, it's our friend Eduardo Henrique. Greetings, Bill and Ashton. Wazard313 here. That's his name in the chat section. As I mentioned on the last Stratosphere Lounge, I aspire to move to Red USA from Germany. For now, I just ask of your nephew if he is into Japanese comic books, because I guarantee they are currently better than any Western comics from the previous decade. Perhaps you should give him a try if this aspect of the pop culture is of interest. Let's not forget the Japanese comic Demon Slayer that has outsold the entirety of North American comic industry on its own since 2020. Best regards, best of luck, and Merry Christmas.
So personally, I do like the Japanese manga thing. Demon Slayer is one of my favorites. I also like Hunter x Hunter, a little bit of Naruto every once in a while. You know, they're better than most of the others. They're just my favorites of those.
What do you like about them?
I don't know, the animation in them, the fights, the storyline, the whole demons. It's kind of cool aspect of it.
Is this some kind of what? Is this moving pictures of some kind? If they found a way to animate a mouse or something like that? So you like manga? What's the difference between manga and anime?
Manga's like a comic book.
Manga.
And anime is like a TV series kind of thing.
I saw the very first anime ever when it came out live. It was Astro Boy. And I remember seeing that on cartoon shows when I was an Astro Boy myself. I was probably younger than you. So very long ago. And I didn't like it. I was like, what's with the big eyes? What's going on? It's very strange. Very strange. So anyway, that was a fast answer to a question. Not only that, but it was a question I couldn't have answered because I'm not a big fan of either manga or anime. I'm trying to think if there's any exceptions. No, there's not. I can't think of anything there that I like. But anyway, thanks for that one, Wizard. And again, don't hesitate to reach out for help getting yourself over here because we definitely could use people like you. All right, moving on. Ryan Michael Wilkie says, I myself, being a relatively young person, listen to your Uncle Bill quite regularly. That would be for you, I guess. And even though we have not met, I consider him a mentor. Do you, Mr. Bill's nephew, have any mentors in your life? And if you can answer this, who? And how do they give you perspective? Now, you better make this good, kid, because I'm paying you top dollar.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, my parents, obviously, but I don't really have any, like, celebrity mentors. I just really follow, like, in my footsteps of my parents. I try to be the best I can in that perspective. I try to get good grades, clean up when I can. You know, I cook sometimes.
Cooked this morning, cooked the hell out of the place.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. I talked to your dad when we were down there on Thanksgiving. He said you came pre-briefed by God. I thought, let's not gild the lily here, Steve. Let's not overdo it. No, you got a lot of interest. You were. Let's have the talk about the penny.
The penny?
Abandoning the penny.
Oh, yeah. So we had to do an essay in class about whether we should keep the penny in circulation or not. I really think that we need to keep the penny in circulation. Because think about this, right? You know, this is just one of my sides on it. It takes 2.16 cents to make a penny, right? So, you know, an argument is that we're wasting 1.6 cents to make a penny when we could just be making a dime, right? And, you know, we don't want to waste money. But people don't understand. It costs like 10.6 cents to make a dime. So I always say, would you rather waste that 1.6 on a penny, or would you rather waste that 5.6 on a dime? Like, if we want to waste less money, we should really keep the penny in circulation.
Because of? You were talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
Because of inflation. So we're going to be putting $100 bills into parking meters in the next. You said within 100 years. I think it's going to be closer to 100 days. But yeah, I mean, you know, coming out of this guy, I'm kind of thinking I'll just go outside and have a smoke. I don't even smoke. Yeah. So that's really impressive. I'll tell you what else is impressive. Really did kind of impress me and surprise me when we were down in Thanksgiving in Florida. We were practicing for Natasha's citizenship test, and I was firing off the questions, and you were getting those babies correct.
I had civics like 6 months before that.
Civics. I thought civics was a thing of the past. How many members of the House of Representatives?
Huh? Oh, don't do this to me. Pressure. Oh, this is the one I didn't know.
This is the hard one.
Yeah, it was. Is it like? I don't know.
435.
Yeah, that's that. I was gonna say something.
That he actually was just nailing them, getting them, just nailing them. So here's a question from me, from yours truly. Virtually everybody out there in America, as a general rule, live in relatively cold places, or at least places that get cold, and have a lifelong dream of maybe, oh, it'd be great to live in Florida where it never gets cold. You were born in Naples, grew up in Fort Lauderdale.
Born in Fort Lauderdale.
Sorry, grew up in Fort Myers a little bit, but mostly Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't keep track of. I really didn't. I don't really care that much, honestly. But then several years ago, you moved from Fort Lauderdale to Michigan, and
I
you
did.
loved it
I love Michigan. I really want to move back.
because
I like the landscape, the weather, the people. I like the farmland. I just like how everybody acts. They're all so nice.
Yeah.
You know, they hold doors open. They say, please, thank you.
and it's cold.
It's cold. I love the cold.
Nobody can understand that. I'm telling you, my wife certainly doesn't understand it. If you haven't lived someplace like California doesn't count because California can get chilly and cool. But Florida, if you grew up in Florida and Bermuda, it's like what we talked about last week when you weren't here. It's just like a patch of snow on the ground. My God, stop the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like living someplace colder, but that's not likely to happen with my Siberian wife, who's probably had enough cold for her life. What was it you liked about Michigan? So you said all the things and stuff. It smells different up there. It smells like America.
It does. It smells like America, I guess.
Yeah, not like rotting mangoes and stuff like it does in South
Yeah.
Florida, which just smells like
Dead iguanas.
and somebody left
Pond water.
Yeah, somebody left Hawaiian Punch out in the yard for a couple days and just doesn't smell very good. So he apparently knows civics, and I thought surely he must be homeschooled, but turns out he's not. All right, let's see. We're going through these questions too fast. We're gonna have to unroll some of these answers. Here's another one from Trevor Duell. Hey, Ashton. You can say hi to Trevor. I always do.
Hi.
What do you want to do when you graduate? My first step in realizing I was a conservative was telling a high school student that they didn't have to go to college. There were plenty of other opportunities. Are schools still pushing college as though it were the only option? I hope you enjoyed the Pearl Harbor video, Bill. I did, Trevor. Thank you, and I'll try to get that next week. So, what are you interested in doing?
All right. So me and Bill were talking about this last night. I want to be a children's psychologist.
You said you wanted to be a child psychologist,
Right.
And I said you're halfway there because you're a child.
Right.
So that's good news, and that surprised me actually. A child psychologist.
Yes. I just like the feeling of, helping people and trying to, I guess take away some kind of trauma. And I really want to do it with younger kids who have really gone through a lot in their family units.
Now, before you start thinking he's too much of a vegan cream pie, what else did you want to be? You mentioned.
Oh, all right. So when I was really young, 4, I'd always go up to my mom and be like, hey, Mom, am I fat? And every time she'd say no, I'd just run away crying. It's 5 years after she brought that up, and I'm like, do you know why I used to always cry and run away?
When she said you weren't fat.
Right. And I'm like, when I was really, really young, I wanted to be a sumo wrestler. I don't know why. It'd be different if I grew up in Japan, because they're treated like royalty down there. But I didn't grow up in Japan, and I have no clue why I want to be a sumo wrestler. Why I wanted to be. I don't want to anymore.
And you mentioned another thing last night before we brought out we don't have any weapons in the house because we lost them in that terrible boating accident.
I also wanted to be a Marine, but
now we're talking.
Yeah, but I don't really see that in the cards because, I don't have that good of grades, and also my mom won't let me be in there because, I don't know, she doesn't want to lose her only son to war. She said that. Who doesn't want to lose their only son to war, right?
Yeah, and besides, they do the dying when you're dealing with the Marines. And I thought that was actually funny. I think because you mentioned it last night, you said, she didn't want you to do it because you were an only child. And I was thinking, oh, that's great. There's 4 of us. I guess we're just expendable. You want to be a Marine? Yes, but you can't be a Marine, Ashton, because you're our only child. What about you, Bill? You want to be a Marine? Yeah, I want to be. Well, then go, man. We got 3 more look just exactly like you. But what is it about the Marine Corps that you like?
I don't know. I just like the kind of schedule and
discipline.
The discipline of it, yeah. I just want to fight for our country. Do whatever I can.
What a kid! What a kid! Why the Marines?
Oh, I don't know. I just like their fighting aspect, how they do it, their whole core kind of thing.
They got a sheen about them that I know a lot of Army people don't like. The Air Force is real nice if you like living in air conditioned barracks in the Hair Force they call it.
Yeah, I would, but like if you go to war, most Air Force if you do go to war, like 50-60% of people in the Air Force just get shot out the sky. So, I'm not really into that. I don't like getting shot out the sky.
Not me. I would be doing the shooting out of the sky, but nevertheless, It's still pretty impressive. No, it's true. The Marine Corps is great and provides a lot of discipline and a lot of purpose.
Yeah.
Some kids who are really problem kids, like you, they get into the Marine Corps and they and all of a sudden they just completely straighten out.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned this again. I'm just. Well, I don't want to say it in front of him, but I'm actually really kind of impressed and pleased. And you also mentioned you might be thinking about playing some football.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna start playing football next year because that's when they offer it for free. And I also do band in school, but I really don't want to do band because I play the French horn, and it physically annoys me to be in band class, and I just really don't like it.
You can see already, folks, the weird sort of kind of thing that's going on here. You got a young man who wants to be a child psychologist and a Marine, and he also plays the French horn and also wants to play football. Not football.
No, football.
Not soccer. Because that's straight up communism and is destroying the country as rapidly as we can. A bunch of people running around for 90 minutes, final score 0-0. I say. When we were in in Florida, when we first got to Florida, because it rains in Florida, as you probably remember, our elementary school field would flood, be about that deep in water. And we would play flag football, but you could tackle somebody, just do flying tackles, and you'd hit the ground and just go, like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite football team?
I mean, I like the 49ers, I like the Bucks. I mean, I used to like the Patriots, but kind of going off there because Brady
it's kind of
left.
like rooting for GM.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brady kind of impressed people. It's like, oh, well, you'll
Wasn't
never
he supposed to retire?
You're leaving the Patriots. You're overdue. You're done. No, you'll never be anything about the Patriots. Goes to a new team. Next thing you know, Super Bowl victory. Yep. Whammo. He's a pretty damn good quarterback. Risha Dark says, what does Antifa and footballers have in common? Answer, they both burn down cities when they lose. Well, that's certainly true enough there. Yeah, well, you live in Florida, so, if you do go to university, you could always go to the University of Florida.
Yeah.
Gators would be tough to play for. Well, Gators used to be tough to get on the team. I think now they're probably just taking junior high school kids because they've had some pretty bad years. Yep. But for whatever happens, man, just don't go to those other two places that we don't speak about.
Yep.
You know the places. All right. See, he's got it down. The kid's got it down. Any other interests?
Ow, hair in my eye. No, that's really all that comes to mind right now.
That's all you've been allocated so far.
Yes.
You don't want to exceed your ration. All right, so let's see. Hey, here's Dave Olson. There's a disturbing trend among the Utes of today. You're one of the Utes of today. In that they seem to believe that anything that happened before they were born is either inferior to what's available now or just racist. This cuts off their cultural repertoire from every black and white movie ever made to Boston's debut album. Do you agree with this analysis, or am I just a cranky middle-aged Gen Xer who needs to be more woke? In other words, are there things that happened before you were born that are worth your precious and valuable time?
Kinda.
Like what?
I don't really know. I kind of forgot the question. Wait, do that again.
Do you like any music? Do you like any music that's older than you are?
Yeah, I like music from like the 80s, 70s. My dad is, really non-rap kind of guy. He doesn't like most of the newer music, so I grew up listening to like 80s and 90s music, so I'm kind of accustomed to it.
Classic
but
rock.
I can listen to like any music. It doesn't really matter to me.
You were humming a little bit of the Nutcracker Suite this morning, which impressed me. You didn't know what it was. It impressed me less.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring it to my tongue.
No. It was impressive. Yeah, it's funny because everywhere you go, you hear classic rock. And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm at the mall and they're playing a song. I looked up the date. It was 1979, a Hall & Oates song. And I thought if they were did the math on this, it'd be like when that song came out, it'd be like everybody in the mall listening to music from the 20s. You know, it's just nuts. But it's just good stuff. All right. Well, he's so tell us about when we were driving home from the airport last night. You said you thought that, they're obviously the kids are more liberal than their parents, but you said that, maybe 25-30% are liberal, a few more liberals than conservatives, and you like the people who didn't push their politics and stuff. But do you get a lot of woke stuff shoved at you in school on a daily basis?
What do you mean?
Do you get lectures on transgender stuff, and do you get critical race theory and all that stuff?
Kind of. We have this thing called Connect for Success. It's not like exactly...
Connect for Success.
It's not like exactly what Bill said, but it's like where we talk about like each other's feelings and mental health. I get that, but we don't really get much on like transgender, genders, and sexualities from the teachers. But a lot of the kids would be like, "I'm transgender,"
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of that going around.
I don't mind, but...
You think it's kind of... I think that one of the big dangers about all this talk about transgendered athletes and stuff is that a lot of young people do it just for the attention.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm transgender. Look at me. I'm special. You know what would impress me if you were a conservative who got good grades and could tell me who fought in World War II. That would impress me. Mm-hmm. But so you don't feel like there's a tremendous... Well, now I should pause this little intersection here to say that Ashton is here from what used to be the loopiest, dumbest, most goofy state in the nation, which is where I grew up, and that's Florida. And now Florida's probably the most sensible place in the entire country.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God it's right. So not too much of that. There's hope. There's hope for the Yoot of America. All right. So you don't get a whole lot of woke stuff. By the way, I should point out that my brother Steve makes me look like frickin' Mao. I mean, Steve is hardcore conservative. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about shooting irons last night. And you... Oh, this is a cool story. I think I mentioned this not too long ago on the show. You weren't here. But when your dad and I were the same... Well, he's a year younger than me. Our dad, your granddad, bought us both Daisy BB guns, the Winchesters with the spring action thing, and you have one of those.
I do.
It's got a Daisy BB. You shoot your eye out, kid.
I'm not gonna be like, hey, boom. I'm not dumb. I have gun sense. I know what to do.
He does. He does know what to do. He knows how to check the chamber. So you're not going to shoot your eye out with a BB gun.
I promise.
Is that because you're not going to point it at your eye?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Then that's all you need to know about gun safety. But I'll tell you, I love those. I love that Daisy gun. Your dad. I keep wanting to say your brother, Mike, whatever. Your dad then got one of the pump action compressed air ones. Where
I haven't seen it.
You have to pump it like 8 times to compress it, right? And it puts out a lot more power. And of course, if you're supposed to compress it 8 times, pump it 8 times to compress it, then pumping it 30 times will get you even more. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work that way. But that thing was great, and Stevie and I, his dad and I, we were just crack shots with those little lizards in there.
I haven't shot anything yet, but I shoot like cans. I'm a pretty good shot.
We shot a lot of lizards, and then I think we shot like a mourning dove, and we didn't think we'd hit it, but your dad did. Your dad shot it right through the eyes, and it fell down dead, and we both were like, "Oh my God, what have we done?" Your dad's a hunter, though. He's been a hunter. Your dad used to go out to the Everglades with his dog Gator and a shotgun.
Oh yeah.
And a tent. And he was not much older than you. He was certainly less than 16.
Like 15, yeah.
He'd just hitchhike out to the Everglades, and he'd be gone for, I don't know, a couple days. And then he'd come back, and he'd have turtles, and he was. Your dad's a great guy. He's an outdoor dude.
Yeah.
So you ever take you hunting or shooting?
We tried to go hunting, but it wasn't like the right time of year up in Michigan. It wasn't like the right time of year, right temperature, right time of day. We didn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen deer not hunting though. It's weird.
Yeah, I've seen deer. I've seen deer when I wasn't hunting too. I once I asked your dad and my dad were going out hunting one time, and I've gotten to be a pretty decent shot. And I said, yeah, maybe I'll go with you guys. And Steve said, no, you don't want to do that, Bill. I said, why not? I'm a good shot, because I am a pretty good shot. And he said, no, you're not going to like the sound it makes when a deer gets shot, and you're not going to like all the blood and stuff. And he was like, yeah, you're probably right. But the Daisy BB gun is it's
nice.
That's how you fight communism. And we were talking about this last night, and it's like you said, that your dad basically told you how to deal with firearms, so you knew how to handle a gun, and I knew how to handle a gun, and we never ever are pointing guns at people or playing around. I wonder if this thing is exploded. And,
I heard the worst story. This guy took like his brother's like friend's cousin or something to the shooting range. He was like probably my age. Takes him to the shooting range, gets it. Hey, is this thing? Psh, just about to ask if it was loaded. Just blows his head off right in front of everyone.
I hate it when that happens.
I know.
But it's like it's not a joke, man. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I think all the liberals think that the people who own guns just do nothing but going around going yee-haw, like Yosemite Sam kind of thing. It's like no, we gotta be careful. Do you have a favorite Zelda game?
I don't play Zelda.
I don't either. You play Fortnite?
Not anymore.
No.
I used to though.
We trotted out the old virtual reality set last night.
Oh yeah.
That had its moments.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. They have a T-Rex at a museum, and this T-Rex starts coming down at you, and it's like, yeah, that's a T-Rex. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly it gets close enough so that it no longer feels like you're looking at it on a flat screen, and then it's like, oh dear. And then this whole thing comes, and it just mouth just comes raw like this, and it actually gets your attention. Mm-hmm. It really kind of does. So, all right. Does he play Star Citizen? Says Merlin in the live comment section.
I don't.
He doesn't.
I don't play a whole lot of video games. I play like my PC can't really want it, but I used to play Warzone, a couple of Call of Duties, Valorant, Rocket League. I don't play a lot of games. I only play a couple.
Half-Life, Counter-Strike. That is quite an old game, but Counter-Strike, I played a lot of Counter-Strike back in the day. Please can I say? Oh, they wanted to know if you use the same hair gel as me. I don't use
hair gel.
And you're complaining about your hair here in dry California.
It's so bad. All right, so up in Florida, right? It's kind of like
down
dry,
in Florida.
but
go ahead.
It's kind of like dry, but it's all like curly, so it like curl up, and everyone says I have a perm, but I don't. But I like that. I like how it looks, but it's natural, and it's so bad here. And of course, the one day that I leave, there's no humidity, and my hair is just like all silky and flat. Looks like I have a bowl cut. But usually it's kind of like up and like curly, and I can and it shakes around. But now it just looks like I have a weird bowl cut when I do it.
Where on earth did you inherit all of this vanity?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Your dad.
Thank you. Bad hair days do suck.
No, your dad. Your dad, I think, has had 3 pictures taken in his life.
Yeah,
I think there are 3
he really
pictures.
Doesn't like pictures.
He's not a fan. He's not a fan of getting his picture taken. I know where the vanity comes from. I know what branch of the family tree had that cosmic ray strike.
Mm-hmm. I really like.
By the way, it's all right.
It's all right. I really like Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That was really good. The whole storyline of it's good though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, just keep talking. Just checking something.
Oh, I haven't. He hasn't sat me down and read any 40K.
40K is awesome. Now I've done it. Now look at me. Now. Excuse me one second while I go up. Yeah.
Oh, it's better. A brush won't help mine. It'll make it worse.
Yeah. So anyway, you're a vain child, and that's a sin, and you should not. You'll have a lot of housework to do. The great thing about having a young person visiting is all of the menial labor that gets done. Honestly, that's pretty cool. Marisha Dark says there's a non-zero chance. It means it's theoretically possible you might grow up to be a space marine.
No, I don't. I have interest in going to space, but I don't have interest in going to space. It's weird. I don't have any desire to go to space. Meh.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. You want?
I want to go to space, but I don't want to go to space.
You don't? No, I'm sorry.
Take your time. You need a while to process this.
Even if you had a chance to go to space, you're still thinking you might not go to space.
If I did, I just don't want to put any work into going to space.
Ghost got it. You broke Bill.
Yeah, I did. Oh, and where is it? I'll find it. Wait, Spider-Man. Oh yeah. Conductor Productions. I've seen the first, second, and third of the original. I've seen both the Amazing Spider-Mans, and I've seen Far From Home, Homecoming, but I haven't seen No Way Home yet.
No Way Home is getting rave reviews.
Good thing or bad thing?
Great reviews.
Yeah.
Rave
I
reviews.
heard it's really good.
They bring the other two Spider-Mans into the movie.
They bring all the old villains too.
Yep, I've heard it's great, and it's made damn near $1 billion. And Ghost says, "Oh my God, it's so great." I've heard it was fantastic. Drinker liked it, and Doomcock liked it, and they both said that it just treats the whole thing with a lot of respect. And after all of this woke failure, here's just something that, just straight up Spider-Man, no lessons, no big social lessons that you had to learn, and it's made damn near $1 billion.
All right, Charles Thomas over on Facebook. I have not seen The Adventures of Buckaroo. Sailing across the 8 dimensions.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh wait.
The Adventures of Buckaroo.
To watch it.
It's the greatest movie ever made.
Is it?
It's the greatest movie ever made. Yeah, it simply is the greatest film ever made. And
does your mouse not have a scroll wheel?
It's a magic mouse.
That's weird.
It can scroll sideways. Yeah, it can scroll sideways. Here, I'll show you.
It's to the next question.
It's a magic mouse. I'm actually trying to stretch out time because we're chewing through these questions very fast, and I want to. So check this out. Just scroll down. You get here. Right?
How'd you just scroll away?
Just it's all touch sensitive, but check this out. Right? Yeah, and it goes sideways. Oh, that's mean. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, Buckaroo Banzai and His Adventures Across the 8th Dimension. It's an absolutely fantastic movie, and you can only imagine my amazement and joy when because the end credits of that movie, the end credits are the best part of the film, and they take place at this really iconic kind of a concrete structure, and I love that movie since I saw it in Florida and whenever it came out, '85. And then the next thing you know, I move into an apartment, and what do I see right out the window? There it is. There's the Buckaroo Banzai thing. So they say Buckaroo's on YouTube, but we'll do it right. Now, one thing he hasn't seen, because he came into the Magic home office and said, "What's that sword up there?" And I said, "That is the sword of Aragorn." And you said, "Son of who?" So he hasn't seen Lord of the Rings yet, but we're going to remedy that, and we might remedy that starting tonight.
Yeah, Bill doesn't know how to handle more than 3 questions an hour.
Normally I just get one. It's like 35 questions, and I'll take one, and I'll do 2 hours on that question.
How? That's like, how do you get views like that?
Well, I don't. I mean, that's the problem.
Obviously. But you need to bring content. You need to fulfill the people's wishes. If they're going to ask questions, you need to answer them.
Oh God. What have I done? I'm just going to I'm going to go out and smoke. You can take it from here.
All right, go ahead. When you leave California, I know the word, billboard.
The volcanologist.
Yeah. And all, but isn't it time? What?
They want to know when I'm going to leave California.
Oh, not soon enough.
It's, again, there's only 2 places I really would want to. Well, it's not just a question of, yes, good. Let the hate flow through you. It's not just leaving California. It's going to where. Natasha doesn't want to go anywhere cold on account of Siberia.
Yeah.
So that
really
lets out all the places I kind of want to go, and then she loves Florida because I made a terrible mistake.
Sorry,
That's
I'm bringing there when it was the best weather of years.
I made the terrible mistake
I know.
of taking Natasha.
Thank you, political Cal Animal 87. You need to learn how to do Twitch, Bill. You got to answer the questions. You don't just do like 2. Hire Ashton to be your CTO.
Now I'm completely, I'm vapor locked now. Now I don't know what to do. I'm called out by my own nephew. I don't understand these things. I all I know is I'm supposed to talk into the machine. Talk into the machine. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
Here we go. Everybody's coming and telling me advice on how to improve my media
Poor
empire.
Bill. We love him anyway.
Yeah, well, somebody does. All right, so let's see. Jason Rasmussen, how do you and your friends feel about America now and its history? That's a good question.
All right, so most of my friends are Republicans or like way, way right. One of them actually just moved to Tennessee. And, obviously they feel that Biden didn't really hold up what he said he was going to, and he raised gas prices by like, what, $2, $3?
It's $5.30 a gallon right now.
Oh, over
here.
in Florida, it's like $4.30.
Yeah.
Jesus. And, everyone, not a lot of people, at least in my close friend group, don't like what Biden did for this country. I do have a couple, libtards as friends. I'm not very close with them.
I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right. People have their opinions, and I have to just respect that. I don't fight it a lot. I will do it sometimes, but, you can't really make sense to those kind of people. But, I'm kind of split, and then I have a couple friends that just don't share their politics, which I like them the most.
Yeah, because it's nice to not have to talk about politics all the time.
I know. It's exhausting.
Mick from Vic says, don't come to Australia, Bill. We're in lockdown now because of Omicron, if you can believe that. And we were talking about that a little bit, too. Honestly, Mick, I was in Australia in 98. I was there for 4 months in Brisbane. And I loved it. And I found Australians just be so laid back and so loose and so cool. And I cannot believe what's happening. I can't believe what's happening. And I'm living in California, so I'm already most of the way there. But God, man, they're got these concentration camps now in the north for people who are unvaccinated. You're just like, we're going to ship you off to a camp, and good God.
At this moment, if there was one place I could live that isn't in America, I don't know. But like when the lockdown's over, if there's one place I could live, like not being in America, it'd have to be Australia. I do have some family there, not very close family, like third cousins or something. And I just kind of like how Australia is. I like the people there. They're relatively nice. A lot of drunks.
Have you ever been there?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot about it. Once this lockdown's over, I'd like to visit there at least.
Yeah, and somebody was pointing out this Omicron thing. There's apparently been a death in the United States. Somebody was hit by a car and tested positive for
COVID,
the Omicron variable, and so the death toll continues to rise. Steve Green's been talking about this a lot on one of the other shows we do. He says, and I think he's right too. He says that the Omicron variant is the end of COVID because it's very, very contagious and very, very mild. Mm-hmm. So everybody gets it, and then the game is up. Yeah. I had a talk with his dad earlier today, and the world's just gone nuts, and I did a long Virtue Signal on Christmas with Zoe, and did another one on Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving, because it'd be a little late for that, for New Year's. So instead of 2 Virtue Signals this week and 2 next week, because Natasha and I are going to be out of town, we did a long Christmas show today, and we'll release that now. And then we did a long New Year's show, and we'll release that next week.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about this whole thing is just coming to an end. Is the YouTube suspension over? Yes. Bad conservative. Bad conservative. You go sit in the corner for a week. No posting for you. When we got our first strike on YouTube, and I realized, and by the way, the first strike we got on YouTube was for a video that had been up for 3 months, and somebody then decided, well, I guess we don't like that. We're going to give you a strike. And then I thought, okay, if you get 3, the channel gets taken down, and the videos are just deleted. I can't get to them. They're just gone. Now, I keep most of the firewalls that I do and the big stuff, but everything else is just, gone. And I have to tell you, it really scared me to death until, recently, and then this last one we got a week ago, I really got to the point where it's like, you know what, I don't care. I really don't. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Because we're going to be doing some of that animation stuff, which you got to see on a little tiny phone down in Florida. I'll show it to you back on the big screen back at home. It's pretty amazing. Somebody said, cut your hair.
All right, you got to understand, this is how I like my hair.
I thought he was talking to me.
Oh, whoever you're talking to, if it's me, this is how I like my hair.
Yeah, I think it's...
It's better in Florida.
It's definitely,
it's trendy.
Interesting.
A little bit shorter, little bit shorter.
Did you get a haircut since Thanksgiving? No, because you had your hair practically shaved on the back.
I know. Dude, it was like I was bald.
Kids. I don't know what's going on. They're nuts. And the music they listen to, it's all just noise.
Thank you. Roy Hemmel.
Let's see. John Frost, I was so mad at you for missing TSL last night. Can you ever forgive me?
I'm guessing that was towards you.
I was so mad at you for missing TSL last night.
Can you forgive me? Wait, what?
I don't know if...
Can
First of all, I didn't miss TSL last night. It's a Thursday show. This is Thursday, I think, isn't it? Yes. So maybe last week. Might be last week. And we didn't post it because we couldn't. So I'm posting... When we're done with this, I'm going to post this show. I'm going to post last week's show. Last week's show was epic, not like this horrible show that we're doing right now. And so we're going to get that thing up there, and we'll see how that goes. So I'll tell you what, we'll do the last of Facebook questions, and then we will do nothing but live comment questions for 15 minutes, and then we'll go home and you can begin the housework that I need you to do in terms of cleaning out the air conditioning ducts and
what am I, Harry Potter?
No, there's a bunch of dead animals under the foundation, things like that. I've been just kind of saving it for you. All right, so here's a last one of the Facebook questions. Ashton, are you excited to see the launch of the James Webb Space Telescope on Christmas Day? It's been in development longer than you've been alive. Fingers crossed.
I am pretty interested on the whole, going to space kind of thing. I just don't want to do it myself. So, yes, I am. I'm probably going to be tuning into that when it happens.
It's communism. It's straight up communism. What do you mean you don't want to go?
I don't want to put in the work to going to space.
Yeah, well. I actually have to tell you, I didn't realize this until... recently, really recently. I thought that James Webb was just an optical telescope. It's much bigger than the Hubble, much bigger. But it's actually a near infrared telescope. I don't want to see infrared. I want to see pictures that are like pictures. I want bigger, better, sharper pictures of things than that. And it's like infrared. Oh, that's kind of it's near infrared, I guess. That's a little bit.
Gotta use your head like a duster, Ashton. Run. First of all, you spelled my name wrong. Ashdon. So
yes.
Get that right. And everyone says that to me.
Where'd that attitude come from, Mr. How to Build Your Audience on Twitch? You should show a little respect.
I am, but everyone says that to me.
Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
Um.
We're getting into what's your favorite color territory.
Oh. Okay.
Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
I like the original Rudolph.
Oh, the stop motion animation stuff. It's funny you mentioned that because I was singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer for some reason to myself, and I thought that is the snootiest, nastiest song. If you listen to that, it's like, you know, it's like what a bunch of butt kickers, not kickers, kissers. These other reindeer, like they're just horrible. It's like we hate you, and we think you suck. You go stay over there. We hope you die,
Racism.
Rudolph. And then Santa comes out and says, "Hey Rudolph, could you help me out with this?" "Yeah, I'd love to, Santa." "We love you, Rudolph.
I
We
know.
love you. We think you're just the most amazing, swell things in the world." It's like,
I know.
piss off, reindeer. That's what I would have said. I would have said, just, you know, I would have been happier with the story if the song had gone. So then when Foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" And then instead of "then all the reindeer loved him," then it would be, "then all the reindeer still hated him, but they pretended to like him because Santa Claus was Santa's favorite, but they were then plotting his revenge on him." And then Rudolph disappeared under mysterious circumstances 3 days after Christmas. that kind of thing. That would at least have internal consistency.
Yeah.
Here's a quick trick question for you. I don't know if you know this, and I was very happy to figure this out. You know the song Jingle Bells?
Of course.
What's the name of the horse in Jingle Bells?
I have no clue.
You can figure it out, though. You've already passed it. Oh, maybe not. It's right in there.
Making spirits bright. What fun it is to.
Back it up. Jingle, jingle, jingle all the way. All the fun is red horse. All the fun horse. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making
Bells on bobtail.
Bobtail is the name of the horse. That's exactly right. Now, people have occasionally said, no, bobtail means it's just the tail of the horse, but I maintain that bobtail is the horse's name. Great googly moogly. What did Rudolph know about the Clintons? Nothing. He just disappeared. Yeah, Bart's treasure. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? And Rudolph said, "F you, I like my version better." It's awesome. Yeah, bobtail. Bells on bobtail. I remember when somebody asked me that question, I figured I was so proud of myself. I have low expectations.
I would go to space if, Elon gave me a free ride. Like, who wouldn't?
If Elon is handing out free rides and you go and I don't, somebody not getting home when they splash down is all I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. What else? What else have we got for him? He just destroyed this thing. He just ate it alive. I did not see his interview with the Babylon Bee, but the fact that he did the Babylon Bee is really pretty impressive. We're looking desperately now for questions because we're like a whole hour into this, and we need to find another 15 minutes to fill because he's just
bring your question, guys.
Bring them.
There's a cyborg reindeer with
what does the child know about? Does the child know about the Babylon Bee? The Babylon Bee is a conservative satire site, and it's actually honestly crazy, genuinely funny, and The Onion, which was always very left wing. I haven't looked at The Onion forever, but the Babylon Bee is great. Question from Bart's Treasures, who I think was the guy you personally insulted aggressively just a few moments ago. When is Ashton with the D? Ashton. When is he getting his own show?
As soon as Bill goes away. So just a little information on why my name is spelled with a D. All right. So it's from my mom's side of the family. All the guys have D in their first name. So my uncle's like Kendon, Brandon, Kendon, and all the women on my mom's side, their Dawn is in their middle name. So like my mom is Dawn D. No, just Dawn. My aunt is Dawn D. It's just a family tradition.
Is that why you call your dad what you call him?
I call him Dee Dee. I don't know.
It's got a nice ring to it, actually. All right. So CP Tome says this mini Bill has to have his own show on BillWhittle.com. I'm definitely. I think I'm down with that as long as I don't have to pay him. I mean, you're not old enough to be able to be paid. So do you do any more like YouTube stuff? Because you were really into that for a while.
I still am, but like my internet at my house is like really, it's like too bad to record. Like if I record, it's like it's running in PowerPoint slideshow.
Yeah, you've got horrible.
I do
horrible.
I think I have like 0.25 streaming, and like 10 upload, or the other one.
Keep talking.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna check.
Pay him in food pellets.
What?
I'm just reading the thing. Pay him in food pellets.
Okay.
Ash done. Remember questions of the website, Bill.
Take questions while I'm searching.
I'm
for
trying.
Something.
Hey, if Scott can come in from TX, Ashton can come in from Florida, right?
Sure.
That's
he can,
for you.
He can,
Yeah.
he can call in absolutely. You keep talking. I'm trying to find this thing if I can find it. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. But give me a second. And yeah, it's yeah, that's what we're getting there. Hang on, I just want to see if it's anywhere here.
28.8, baby. Ash, if you go into psych, you should check out Healthy Gamer YT YouTube channel. I will. That sounds pretty interesting. If Elon Starlink, I'm using Elon Starlink. If this is good in Australia, it must be amazing in Florida. Your speed is 317 / that's better than his.
No, we did a test just earlier. I was getting 320 down and like 20 up. It was supposed to be more or less even.
My internet is only at half a megabyte. 2 megabytes would be what we call luxury, I know.
Looking for something here. Still looking.
I heard you can really irritate someone by correcting someone on how they spell their own name. Ash spelled it again. You spelled it wrong again. Ashton might be able to use this bit of information in the future. Yes. Starlink is only $100. That's a lot. $100 a month.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you. We'll get you set up.
What's something people in your generation think? Or do they say that the adults... Wait. What's something people in your generation think? Do they say the adults should be alarmed about? Nothing. No one really likes the adults. At least, like, in my generation. Worried about, inflation? Have you ever watched the Time Ghost Horse series? No, but I have heard of it. 500 for the hardware. Yikes. Google Edward Ehrlich kid right now. I don't have a phone on me. I own a phone, I just don't have it. It's too fast. It's the only good option for my area. Rural areas have 0 alternative options, I know. Do you guys ever hear about the 2 guys who stole a calendar? No.
I found what I'm looking for. Keep talking.
Alright. Did you guys hear about the... Oh, wait. I missed the first part. Do you go to a public school? How is it? I do go to a public school. It's okay. I go to a A+ school over in, Florida. The teachers are okay. One just got, arrested for child pornography and judge charges.
Well,
I know. And I had him, too.
Did you?
I did.
When you say had him, you meant you were in his class.
Yes.
Okay. Did you get any? Did he give you any funky vibes?
I hated him like a lot.
Well, that's natural enough.
No, but like I liked all the others. He was just, I could tell from the start he was just messed up.
Okay.
If you guys want to look him up, it's Mr. Siciliano.
Well, you don't even need to go any further. I would have immediately thought this. All right. So I went. Yep. While he was talking, I went looking for something, which will embarrass him as much as will make me happy. I think I might have shown this on Stratosphere Lounge 6 years ago, but here you go.
Hello, everyone.
No, we don't have to do this. Bill,
Bill,
please. Bill,
California.
Bill, this isn't nice, dude. Oh, that was beautiful, I remember that. But still.
There's like a mountain.
Why did you do this?
And I'm going to be sliding down it with
Can you not feel like
my
it?
inner tube. And it's going to be really
I think I saw
fun.
that jacket.
And Bill doesn't have
That was the
inner
best
tube.
snow I've ever seen.
I know.
So
It snowed for
we're both
3 or
gonna
4
go
days
on
and
the
then
same
we went
inner
up
tube.
on there. look
We
at
are
me.
going up
saw
a
black hair.
low
You know,
mountain.
before I got
And
married,
I'm
she's
gonna
like,
go on
you
a
know,
raft.
leave it alone.
I'm gonna go
I
on a
remember
raft.
thinking the boy's gonna die,
And then
and thinking
I'm gonna go
that'll be
slide
a
down.
bit of a relief. Actually.
When we got down, I'm like, oh, we almost crashed, right?
We're shooting video here. We're about to crash. This is his first time in snow, by the way, ever. He had never been in snow, never seen snow.
Look at those teeth.
First time
Ew.
ever. We were driving up there to the snow, and he said, you told me this last night. We patched a tiny little patch of snow on the way up to Big Bear, and you said, can we stop and look at the snow? I said, you can look at that little patch and we'll just go home. But that was the best snow I have ever seen. And you got real lucky there.
Yeah.
You were pretty good hosting that thing, by the way. Hi, everybody. I'm Ashton. Okay, come on. Do something more original than that. Oh, it was a fun day, though.
Yeah, it was.
It's snowing in Big Bear right now as we record this. There's a possibility we might be able to sneak up there on the 26th, but I wouldn't count on it.
Right. The last time I went sledding, I got my legs knocked out knocked out from under by a small family. Doesn't that happen to like everyone?
Yeah, well, you're just like it's like one of those bowling ball situations,
know.
just minding your own business and
What does Ash think of your Zoo's animation?
Zoe animation.
Was that the one
That's
about like the liberal
yeah,
party? Yeah, the Simpsons kind of
that was
thing.
no. This was the knight in armor thing that I showed.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't based off like a Simpsons thing.
Nope. What'd you think?
Because you said when we were there about the big house thing.
Yeah, originally the Simpsons did like the Republican National headquarters were on a giant like haunted castle on a hill. What'd you think of the animation?
It was really good.
Be careful now.
In my day, we walked 20 miles to the mountain through slush, then crawled up the mountain.
And
In my day, I had to walk to school up both hills in my brother's shoes.
Uphill both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody, Conductor Productions is a name I haven't seen often. In fact, I don't know if I've seen it before. Deadpool? Question mark. Stand up so people.
Wait. It's not a lot of room. Yeah, I got Deadpool. Wait. On the plane, it was 6 hours long. I watched the original Deadpool, The Hangover, and then like 75% of Endgame, and I didn't sleep the whole way, because I thought if I slept, I wasn't gonna be able to sleep when I got here.
He got in late. He got in at 11:15 or 11:30.
Like 12, which would be 3 o'clock my time.
And then I was supposed to be there at the gate to pick him up, and I left with plenty of time, and I flying down there to the airport, and I got about half a mile from the airport, and then everything just stopped. It just stopped. It took me an hour to get from to do the final mile. It took me an hour.
Yeah.
So now I'm running around like a crazy man trying to I was afraid they would recycle him. And so he flew out here by himself all on his own.
It actually was a window seat because I was an unaccompanied minor. I got a window seat with no one else in those 3 seats because I didn't have an adult with me. You flew to the airport.
That's how I'm going to have to travel in the future because I don't like having people next to me. I'll just go as an unaccompanied minor.
Yeah, that would work.
And plus, the flight attendants take special care of you. They put you on the back rows and keep an eye on you.
Mm-hmm. And we got free snacks. All right, so all right, no, I'm kind of mad about this. When the flight attendants came around with snacks, there was a protein thing, which are probably just like granola bars and maybe some jerky.
Yeah, communism.
Right, a cheese and crackers box.
Europeanism.
a candy box, right? Of course,
American.
I picked the candy box. I open it. There's a wet wipe. 2 little, like those little packets you get at Halloween. They're like this big or something. Wait, which way? That way. They're like this big. I got one of Swedish Fish, one of M&M's, and then the rest I got like some Air cheddar chips, and then beef jerky. Like, where's the candy in the candy box? I was mad. I'm like, what the freak?
What the freak?
In Japan, they give you a bento box. Is that bento like what's bento?
I don't know.
Isn't I think those are the fermented beans.
I don't know. The nice thing about this is that it's like it's the hive mind. I can ask the hive mind any question and I'll get an answer very, very quickly. However, there's about an 8-second delay. Now, I've been informed a couple times that there are members questions on the members only website. So let's do that, which is a good idea. I just didn't know if there were any for the youngster here.
We'll
But
see.
let's find out. I may have to answer some.
All right, I'm gonna
serious
keep
ones.
on these. There are member questions on the website, Bill. Okay.
Go in there now.
Oh, Bento's a lunchbox. Okay.
Go in there now.
I thought he said free sex. Pew. We have seen you, Bill, without Natasha's supervision. You are an unaccompanied minor.
I am. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I always get stuck to the fat guys on the airplane. Yeah. Last time I flew with a Karen next to me. Bill knows the burden. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I had a Karen when we were coming back from Florida.
Oh, what'd she say?
We were sitting there, Natasha and I, and we had our masks like on the tip of our nose. It wasn't over our lip, just on the tip of our nose. And this, he walks in and she sits down there and she's got her hoodie on and she's all bundled up and stuff. And she looks over at us and then she gets up. Plane still hasn't even taxied yet. There are people putting stuff in the overhead compartments. We're just trying to get our carry-on stuff sorted out. And she goes forward, up the aisle, and then she goes, the flight attendant, she looks back at us. I said, I don't like the sound of this. So she comes back and sits down, and the flight attendant's behind her says, sir, you need to wear the mask over your nose at all times.
It's right here.
Yeah. And I turned to her and said, oh, okay, Karen, I'll take care of that for you right away. And then the flight attendant said, she's not being a Karen, sir. She's just concerned for your safety and other people's safety. And I'm thinking to myself, in that definition of a Karen, right? And so I was going to say, I was going to talk to the guy, and I'm not making this up. And you know what the flight attendant's name was? Brandon.
Oh, God. That's just a male Karen.
No, it's epic. It's just epic. All right, here we go. Stratosphere Lounge questions and more. And 1223 Stratosphere Lounge questions. Bill, Steve, Scott, Squeal. All right, here we go. Instructions for the forum. Oh, okay. Let's do some of these.
There's one for you.
Yeah, I'll do a couple. Bill, I think your NASA Cold War and Forgotten Heroes productions are absolutely brilliant. I wrote this comment myself under my pen name of Eric Hagland. Thank you, actually, Eric. Anytime the topic of collectivism or communism comes up, I always recommend your link to the Cold War series. That should be used as a course in high school curriculums. That's good. Thank you. Your ability to weave facts and details into a gripping historical story is unsurpassed, in my opinion. I know that you're busy with the animation series, but I was wondering if you're considering your next historical series and what might that be. Thanks for everything you do. I feel like we are brothers of different mothers. Best, Eric. First of all, thank you, Eric, and secondly, thank you very much for your support as a member. There's a couple things on the plate in terms of more stuff with Daily Wire. One of them is that I want to do is America's Forgotten Heroes Volume 2. And then of all the things I pitched, the one that they seemed to like was conspiracy theories. And I actually realized after I pitched that was a bad idea. I told them I wanted to do 7 episodes on debunking like the big conspiracy theories, right? Mm-hmm. And then I realized virtually everybody I know thinks that all of them are complete and utter garbage except for one. And that one they're really into. And I realized I'm just going to make everybody miserable. I'm just going to piss off the entire audience, all of them. So I don't know. The one I wanted to do, and I've pitched it 2 or 3 times, and they haven't bought it, but I think it's a great idea. I want to do one called Hell on Earth. I want to do one about like the 7 worst battles ever, that were the 7 worst places to be ever on the earth. Let's start with Canny, which was a freaking unbelievable nightmare. But yes, and by the way, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I just did a bunch of editing. I have a half-hour long Moving Back to America Christmas special, which I just finished 10 minutes before we turned the cameras on, called Message from the Moon, and it's about the flight of Apollo 8, but it's also got a lot of, it's a very, 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 very small half-hour long kind of Apollo 11, what we saw, kind of Christmas present. So hopefully that'll hold you over. But thank you, Eric, because I love doing them, and what I really want to do, to be honest with you, is I want to take these discussions haven't happened yet, but to have these discussions is happening. I want to be able to do the Unreal Engine stuff, and then I want to be able to I want to tell the story of John Paul Jones. I want to have sailing ships, and so the ones I did, like audio only one, Frank Luke. I mean, I want pictures of all of this stuff, And we can make characters that look an awful lot like the historical people.
Yeah.
I'd like to do one on the Doolittle Raiders. And I think there's probably a market for this. The one the one I'm just kicking around is doing a feature version of the Taffy 3 thing, which I'm not going to get into now because I talk about it every other episode. But Jeremy at Daily Wire liked the idea of doing like live action actors with like Unreal Engine background like they do on Mandalorian. And the story of Taffy 3 is the most amazing story ever. I was thinking how unlikely it would be that this could ever be true, but it is absolutely true.
Do you have a bathroom?
I do.
Where?
It's outside down the hall to the left. Here's the code. I don't want to say the code on the air because I don't want people rushing down here to use our bathroom.
I know.
19809, 1980 with a 9. And then when you come back, I'll just knock on the door and I'll get to you eventually. I don't know how my brother pulled that off, actually, to be honest with you. He's a good kid. Shh, don't tell him, because if you tell him, they just get ideas. Okay, let's see here. We're looking at how many of these. We can get these done, and then we'll call it a night. We'll do the rest of the questions here at BillWhittle.com. Henry Lumley, who's done so much to kind of proctor this thing, says channel strike. Bill, you should consider doing a channel strike every week or so. Doing a channel strike week. Oh, we should do a channel strike week every so often. Make a completely benign video just listing some of the basic facts that are accepted by rational thinking people everywhere for all time and that are now considered hate speech or racist by the tech giants. Just making a video saying that men are men and women are women, 2 + 2 = 4, and the Clintons have killed more people than a drunk Kennedy and the Omicron variant. Quite a few more people, actually. Make getting a channel strike an event, then post all the videos on Rumble that you could never put up on YouTube. Do not pull a single punch. Make a pre-strike video explaining why you're going to do this and telling people where to find you after your next video. Just make it an event. Make it a week that you offer discounts for merchandise, but only to those that watch on Rumble. Make it your regular membership drive event. Why not just stick it to this whole corrupt system? It's an excellent idea. And the only thing here in the mix that is a bit of a sticky wicket is that I've got thousands of videos hosted on YouTube, and if they give us 3 strikes, they're just gone. They're just gone. Now, when we first got that first strike and I realized that, my God, they could just take down everything, I was like, oh, my God. And then the second time, when it happened, I really just got to the point where it's like, who cares? I really don't care anymore, you know? Virtually everything on the channel now are right angles, which are, particularly dated. It's not a question of not having the drive space to save it. It's just I don't save the right angles because I don't see much reason to do it. It's all news cycle stuff. I keep all the firewalls. I haven't saved the Moving Back to Americas, but that is something that I could download. And you're right, storage is cheap, and so there's really no excuse for it. Marusha beat me to it. I'll start a second YouTube channel in parallel that would serve as an archive, for instance, Bill Whittle Firewall channel. I already have a second channel which I keep completely private, and that I use to upload animation tests and stuff so that I can send a link to people or just show it to to a couple people. And Wizard on the live comment says, your Treblinka right angle I saved because it's historic. One of the things I want to do as a halfway house between feature films and the historical work I'm doing for Daily Wire is I want to talk to them about doing historical dramas with CG doing a lot of the, expensive stuff. Because I could build Treblinka in my sleep. And the second I saw it was a 6-part issue. Oh God, there's somebody to throw. Hang on a second. We don't want any. We already gave it the office. Hang on.
Forgot which door was yours.
It's the one with bad mother F on it. Yeah, so like the Treblinka one, because I'm thinking, I've got to be thinking about budget on these things. You could do Taffy 3 computer graphics love. Yeah.
Thank you. Very funny.
Yeah. Computer graphics love hard surfaces, so you could do all the. I mean, Tom Hanks did Greyhound, and all of the and Greyhound takes place in the North Atlantic, but it's a Fletcher class destroyer, and Fletcher class destroyer is what we have in Taffy 3. So there's that. Treblinka, all of the exteriors could be done. If you wanted to use live action actors, and probably a smart thing to do until the metahumans come out with one more generation, at which point they'll be indistinguishable. But if you wanted to do Taffy 3 as a live action show, you'd have to build the control room on a Fletcher class destroyer, which is tiny. So I don't know. I think it's just really important to bring history to life like that. I don't remember the name of the Treblinka video, Johnny. Might be called Treblinka, but the horror of Treblinka is just the size of it. It's the size of a freeway interchange. It's 2 gas stations on I-10. But we should have an email sign up with enticing gifts listed in the first line of YouTube video description, so you can bring viewers with you when YouTube finally shuts you down. I am going to be starting a second channel. I'm gonna try and keep that a little bit. Here's the reason I don't really much care anymore. I've got 199,000 YouTube subscribers, and the videos get seen by 7,000 people, 10,000 people. It's like, what's the point? This is why the animation thing is so important, because it's just sneaks past all of this stuff. We got flagged because I had an opinion contrary to the official government position on the Victrola, and what are they going to do when I do animation about Dr. Faustus, the demon? Now CP Tome says, of course, it's seen by more than that. Is that possible? Is it possible that they're just because I'd never really considered that to be possible. I knew that the algorithms are turning down the views, but is it possible that there are a lot more people watching than what the number shows up as? Because I've never assumed that was the case. I just thought that they just taken it down. What are they so afraid of, I wonder? Well, I know what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the truth, because that's poison for them. But in any event, there it is. In any event, Henry, using the censorship as a weapon and as a fundraiser is important. I mentioned on the New Year's virtue signal that we shot with Zoe today that we're going to be releasing this animation, first part of it, in early January, like early. And we'll do another membership drive. We haven't done one for a year, so we'll be doing that. Let's see. Henry Lumley again. Hey, Bill. Denis Villeneuve, who directed the new Dune, is directing a Rendezvous with Rama movie. Wow, is that right? That's cool. I, for one, am excited for that. He seemed to understand the source material of Dune, so I hope he does a great job with this sci-fi story. I'll tell you, I loved Dune. I loved it, but it just ended halfway through, and it was like, were the stories just hanging there, just hanging there, and now I don't even know if they greenlit the sequel, but it's going to be 3 years before you see the second half of that story. But Rendezvous with Rama is one of Arthur C. Clarke's classic. It's about a giant, enormous. It's not even a space station. It's like a space colony that just drifts into the solar system, and it's on this kind of parabolic orbit, and you got to get to it, and then it drifts out again. They've got just a little bit of time with it. So the Rendezvous with Rama movie was great, and there's a link which I'll check in a minute. Stephen Finnegan says, I found Bill's next item for his Christmas list right below my Jetson. Here's a real holographic display. Let's have a look. So I've always been concerned about how you would actually do that. Creating an image in the middle of air is tough. Huh. All right, I'll take a look at this article. Thanks for sending it. But this is one of my little pet peeves, and that is that if it's going to be science fiction and you've got data in science fiction, then the screen has to be transparent, right? Mm-hmm. You got to be. So you see, they got these screens floating in midair. Well, if this screen were transparent, you couldn't see anything. It's nuts. It's just crazy nuts. So I'm going to do something where I have somebody with a transparent screen and somebody says, "Can you like opaque this thing so I can't read this?" I love doing things like that. All right, let's see what we got else here. That's great news though about Rama, and I can't wait to check out the hologram thing. Steve, thanks. Martin Archer's here. I contend the best American car is a Dodge Challenger. We had that conversation last week. Here's some pictures. Let's see, your links on Independent. I occasionally ask Steve to post a link on Independent, and only on special occasions. Yeah, and I didn't see Foundation. I had no desire to see Foundation. Foundation looked way too PC for me. I don't know if it even came out, to be honest with you. All right, here we go. Martin Archer with another one. I'm sure you're already familiar with the movie star and Congressional Medal of Honor recipient Audie Murphy. Before I read any further, he was one of the original candidates for America's Forgotten Heroes. But I was looking for people that had like more of a career rather than just one, moment. Whose movie career spanned from 1948 to 1969. Do you know his story, or maybe, if so, maybe members like to hear more about this incredible man? He's the most decorated, and this is Martin as well. He's one of the most decorated American combat soldiers of World War II. He received every military combat award for valor available from the U.S. Army, as well as French and Belgian awards for heroism. Murphy received the Medal of Honor for valor that he demonstrated at the age of 19 for single-handedly holding off a company of German soldiers for an hour at the Colmar Park in France in January 1945, and then led a successful counterattack that wiped out while wounded and out of ammunition. Yeah, didn't he stand on a tank with a 50 cal and just blow people away, Audie Murphy? So they made a movie about him called To Hell and Back, and he starred in it, and he was a movie star. He's an amazing guy, and I knew he had to be an amazing guy. But when I was doing America's Forgotten Heroes, like I said, I felt like I needed somebody that had like a career, like John Paul Jones or Frank Luke, or I'm not saying he's a one-off or anything, but I just couldn't concentrate so much on one event. But yeah, he's definitely on the short list of things to do in the future here. And here's the last one, and then we're going home. From Marusha, who's a trusted forumite. Hey, Bill, given the sheer number of people in our society who are pathologically narcissistic, neurotic, or otherwise insecure, what do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? I don't appreciate that at all. It's not about me. Oh, okay. Because, those people are horrible. And many of them dictate public policy. Should we be looking at universal free therapy for all? That's a question for our child psychologist here. Hang on. If we can cure these people of their delusions and neuroses, might it save us money later? I'm half joking about this, but only half, as I do think there's a much deeper issue beneath the political level. So she said there's so much narcissism and neurosis out there. Mm-hmm. Would it be an investment to basically get these people therapy, like, immediately?
Right. So here's my kind of take on that, right? So I believe people should have their own beliefs. If they feel like being narcissistic,
mm-hmm.
I mean, to each their own, right? I see a problem with it. Like, I don't feel people should be narcissistic, but I mean, to each their own. They have their own beliefs. They have their own opinions. I don't feel it's something. How do I say this? Like, it's something wrong, but I don't feel it's something that we'd actually be able to fix. I don't see any viable treatment option that will actually fix narcissism.
Yes, and then that leads to things like psychological testing of people, and it's like, I don't think I really want to have that happen. However, with that said, yes, there's an awful lot of it out there, and it's getting worse. On a more serious note, you might find this interesting. From my time working as an addiction recovery coach, I've learned techniques like reflexive listening and open-ended questioning that professional social workers and therapists use as part of their toolkit for helping people process mental health issues, and not just clinical mental illness, but also mundane things like anxiety, depression, or even good old-fashioned shitty life syndrome. These interview techniques are designed to get past people's defenses, as you're not trying to attack them as so much understand them, create a judgment-free space that encourages the person to open up and share their perspective, while simultaneously gaining self-knowledge and empathy. You can often use linguistic jujitsu to highlight any inconsistencies in their worldview and trigger a person to revelations that help them heal and grow as a person. Yes, I agree. What I've come to discover that when deployed properly, these same techniques are also extremely effective in political and religious conversations. Yes, it's true. I think that's the guts of it. I think it was Sun Tzu who said, whenever you're fighting somebody, you should give them a golden bridge that they can retreat over. Adam Baldwin, not Alec Baldwin, Adam Baldwin, the good Baldwin. Adam Baldwin, when I first met him 10 years ago, said exactly the same thing. He said, give them an avenue of retreat, because that way you don't have to fight them. And the ultimate victory is when you win the war without having to actually fight it. So yes, you got to put things. When I do an event at a college, I do a very different. I see. There's a delay. I didn't catch the fingers behind my head when you did it live, but I saw it on the replay. Now you're in trouble. But basically, I do a very different event when I'm doing like a college campus versus a Republican or a Tea Party event. And a Republican Tea Party event, I just go sailing into it. And on a college campus, I'm a lot more introspective and I've been able to flip people in very short order by doing exactly that, by, saying, no, you're completely reasonable, it's absolutely right. You got to agree with people on some things and give them some sense that you're not just dug in someplace, but at the same time, it's also nice to just be able to go in there and thrash out just go in there and start hacking things up with a sword. Anything you want to add before we go home to our fabulous pad?
Nice to meet you all. Thank you for coming in, 44 people. Thank you for the comments, amazing questions, and you may not see me next time. You probably won't, but you will see Bill next time. So have a good weekend day. I don't know when your next show is.
It'll be next. It won't be next weekend, because next weekend is the 30th, and Natasha and I are going out of town because her wedding anniversary, and mine also, as it turns out, is December 31st. So we're gonna hit the road.
Yes.
And Wazer said, and we are Ash done. See what you did there?
Go away.
Merry Christmas, Ashton and Bill, and Merry Christmas to all of you guys, as always, from all of us on the team here and the staff and all of it. As always, you keep the Christmas presents coming and keep the lights on and all of that. So we're very grateful, and it's the Voyager anniversary. I need to send a quick text to people I know that were involved with that project. Youngling, yes, the Youngling. Not a Padawan yet, because he's still a youngling. Anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Thanks for being so kind to the boy here. He's actually a really pretty good kid, despite his family origins. And so I guess we'll see.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, we'll go, and always let's go, Brandon. And we'll see you probably in 2 weeks, I guess. First of the year, first Thursday of the year in 2022.
Yes.
Which is
2022.
2022.
Jesus.
I was expecting to have jetpacks already, and I'm very upset. Very upset. All right, so we'll get this uploaded. We'll get last week's uploaded, and I hope you enjoy this week's Moving Back to America thing. It's, like I say, about half an hour on space program and about the flight of Apollo 8, which went to the moon for the first time ever. And I put a lot of work in. So hope you guys like it. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. We gone. Bye-bye.
Bye.